There it is, ladies and gents. It is Monday, first Monday of the month. And it's time to rock the show. So here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros Podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business, on social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Dude, what a day so far.
What a day so far.
Spring break's over, so kids are going back to school.
Back to school.
It's been
to school, back to school.
To prove to mommy and daddy.
I'm not a fool. Movie quotes. I was talking about Adam Sandler over the weekend too. I don't remember why.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. I don't remember why. I was comparing him to Will Ferrell though. I think Adam Sandler is like Will Ferrell before Will Ferrell was Will Ferrell.
Before he was? I don't even know what that means.
I mean, like they have a similar comedic style. Like they get like really loud and like in your face, and you know.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah, I get it.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of loud and obnoxious, that's what we're doing here today, dude. We are here live, ready to go on a Monday. No guest, because the first Monday of every single month we close off so we don't make that $3,000 mistake. Basically, what we're saying is we have to make sure we process invoices and we get paid for stuff. And so if we don't close out the Monday and make sure that we lock it out, there has been a month in the past where we forgot.
One time. It happened one
time, right?
That's all it takes.
Yeah, it's all
That's
it takes.
It was a $3,000 mistake.
Yeah, so we didn't catch it until like towards the end of the quarter when we like sat down to go over books and stuff, and we're like, what the hell has happened? And so never again will that happen. So on Mondays, we don't book a guest, and we make sure that we do everything we need to do. First Monday of every month. So that's why we have no guests today. But cool thing was I got to have a conversation with a couple people. So I just got off the phone with Ollie. Shout out to the Justice League. And we were having a conversation about branding and about creating content. And so what I was telling them was something that I've been coming to grips with myself lately, which is, and this is also a conversation I had with Rosa, for example, on putting out content, right? Because we always have that. When I talk about putting out content, there are always people who are like, well, I don't want people to know what I had for dinner. I don't want people to know, where I am, all these different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a double edge to this thing. On the one hand, it's you're in control, right? So you're in control of what you post and what you put out there. And because you're in control, what you put out is what people will recognize you as. Right. So if you're the one who puts out pictures of your favorite lowrider cars every day, you put out another lowrider car, another lowrider car, picture of you at a lowrider car, at a car show, picture of you cruising down the street. Guess what people are going to know you as? You're going to be the lowrider guy because that is what you post all the time.
Right.
Right. Or vice versa. You're the guy who's always at the gym. So you show yourself bench pressing and hitting the ropes and running every single day. You're going to be the guy who's known for working out and being at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So that same model, you should be thinking about, well, if that's what happens when I do my normal posts, what if I did it intentionally? What is it that you want to be known for? Like, what do you want to be recognized as? Are you a lender? And if so, if that is what you want to be known for, then you should be putting out content that is teaching people about lending laws, like when rates change, or what should we be paying attention to in the market to know whether rates are changing? What laws have changed? How do I avoid PMI? What is PMI? Like all these different things where you can educate and entertain. That's going to be your focus if that's what you want people to know about. And then the next question came up. Well, I'm not only that, right? I'm not only a lender, right, or I'm not only a car show guy. I'm not only this. And so we had a conversation a little bit about pillars, right? So what are the pillars in your life? What is it that you want to be known for? The 2, 3 maybe at the most 5 things that you want to be known for. And those pillars are the pieces of content that you start putting together. And this is where, like, you know, when you're with family, you want to be able to show that you have kids and that you spend time at little leagues and that you go out for family events. That's one of your core pillars. You want people to know that that's what you are, that that's what you do. Put out content that says that. Your other pillar was the lender side. For us, another pillar is the podcast. For you, the other pillow is the pillow. Pillar is the polyam, right? So, like, there's a lot of different things that you do. You're not just the one lane, one brand thing. And if you want to grow your stuff on social media, I've noticed on my own analytics is that you have to mix it up a little bit. You have to show people that you are a person doing person things. And that's
right.
What,
like you probably get more engagement on your posts when you do stuff with Rosa and the kids. Like whenever you post stuff that you're doing with them, all of a sudden people are like, oh, what are you up to? Where are you? What are you doing? You know, what's going on at Balboa Park or, you know, LA, going through the Stranger Things, you know, ride or whatever that is, you know. What's going on over there? As opposed to when it's all business, people will get bored of that pretty quick.
They get bored of it, dude. It's and to be honest, you as the person creating the content, you'll get pretty bored of it too. Like you have to go out and mix it up. I'll share with you the mistake that I told Ollie I was making too. And it's like when I go out and I'm hanging out with, like, the other day we went out to dinner, or it was like lunch. It was Eric and Fawn and Roger and Ollie and myself. And when I'm there, I forget. Like I should be making it a content, but I forget to bust the phone out and record some pieces of content. Even if it's just, and this is what I told Ollie, even if it's just the phone chilling right there, just recording like a minute or 2 or 3 or whatever, like walking by, saying what's up, saying hello, just have it there, because those are all pieces of content that you could use. The power of video is so amazing, because you can mix things up. You can have, you know, and when I was watching Startup Hustle TV, for those of you who haven't checked it out, go to startuphustletv.xyz. Check out what we're doing over there in Startup Hustle TV. But they were talking about the power of creating content, the power of video. And they point out something that we do all the time. We just don't really know. If you're not a content creator, you don't realize what it is. It's that B-roll. It's that content that is just, you know, people having a good time, cheers, shaking hands, giving hugs, giving a speech, but the audio is not lined up with the video, right? The audio might be you giving an inspirational speech about why it's important to network and why the relationship matters, but the visual is different. The visual is a scene of you having dinner with friends. It's a scene of you finishing your run. It's a scene of you, you know, hanging out with your friends and family. Like all these different scenes that you're collecting on your cell phone. And I have a habit of forgetting to collect content like that. All that extra pieces of content. It's not always about just you turning the camera selfie mode and having a conversation. Get a little tripod, stick that camera in the corner, collect you walking around the property. If you're a real estate agent, walking around the property and showing it around, right? Those are all extra pieces of content that you can use.
Time-lapse videos. Time-lapse videos. Those are always cool, you know, especially if you have like a really long event, like you just said, put it on a tripod and stick it off to the side, and then you got, you know, all the conversation happening and, you know, all that good stuff. I like those.
But that's the thing about, you know, when it comes to creating content, it's capturing content, right? Yeah, we do the speaking here on the show, right? So there's a lot of stuff that we say. There's a lot of stuff that's been recorded that our guests come on and they say, a lot of opinions, people ask questions, there's answers. Like there's a lot of content that we record. And if I'm just showing content, it's just the Business Bros logos that way, I can see how that can get boring. But if I can mix it up, right? If I can still take the content that we're creating here on the show and mix the visuals up a little bit, change up the way it shows up on your feed, gives you that hook to basically say, what the heck, what's he doing over there?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It reminds me of the real estate video I did for
Oh, that was a good one.
The most recent listing, right? That one got pretty good traction. That one got good engagement. It got good shares. It got good, people were going to the website from there. People were going to the profile from there, got followers from that post. Why? That one was unique compared to a lot of the different posting that I've done because it was created differently, right? It had a purpose. So identify what your pillars are, go after those pillars.
What about the one you did for Rosa's birthday?
I didn't make that one public, but that one does. I mean, that one did pretty well with the invites. But yeah,
for the short for the small audience that you had.
For the small audience that we had, I mean, I think on YouTube it was like at 65 or 70 views or whatever it was, and we didn't send it out to too many people because it was literally an invitation, right? So I can't send it out. I can't make it public for everybody. but that's the kind of content that I'm talking about, and literally it's just a video invitation. It's us, just so you're aware, we're going to be going to Campland for the wife's birthday, and so rather than making just your traditional Facebook invite or just a paper invite that we dropped off, I was like, let's go to Campland. Let's talk about what we're going to do here and let's record some content. I'll make a quick little video clip of it. And that's the invite that we'll send out. That's what you're trying to do when it comes to creating content.
I'll tell you this, if you had just done like a Facebook invite, I probably wouldn't have had interest in going. I mean, it's Rosa's birthday, so I would have been like, okay, like I'll pop in.
I have to go.
Like I'm gonna pop in and like say what's up, whatever.
Thanks, Dick.
Yeah, but you made a video of it and like really got a chance to explain like everything that you're gonna do and how much fun it's gonna be and da 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 da. And it's like, oh, okay, that's totally worth it, right? Whereas just a Facebook invite it doesn't have the same flair. It doesn't have the same appeal.
It did at one time, right? It did when Facebook first started getting, we first started using it for that. We're like, oh, you can just invite people on Facebook. That was awesome. Because that's how I got a Facebook, because that's how I got invited to things. So everything kind of moves, right? Everything kind of grows in what you're looking for. And I just think the video invitations, video DMs, video invitations, those are all unique things that we can do to create content. And the content creation going forward after that, it's not difficult. A conversation that Ollie asked me.
It's not difficult, but it is something that you have to put thought into.
You do,
like, for example, the same media platform or whatever, the same format doesn't work for all social media platforms.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have to do Instagram a specific way. You have to do Facebook a specific way. I don't even use Twitter because I'm not good at it. Right. So like, but Twitter has its very specific audience and way of communicating that's different from Instagram and it's different from Facebook.
Yeah. And same thing with podcasting. Right. So I was talking to Ollie and I was telling him, dude, I was like, James's podcast has been getting, it's blowing up. Like I was like, dude, he's going to end up passing up the number of downloads per episode that we do on Business Bros quickly. Like he's going to get up there really fast. And it's because it's a very blue ocean. It's very niche. Like it's very, it's a great place to be in. You found a good spot to be in. And so the conversation that brought that up with Ollie was basically, he asked me, he's like, dude, is it still worth it to do a podcast? Like, is it still worth it to create a podcast when there's so many out there? It's like super saturated, you don't build his audience as much and stuff. And I was like, it's like any other investment that you get into. You have to know what your end result is. What are you trying to get out of this thing that you're doing? And that is what you work towards. So why are you starting a podcast? If you're starting a podcast because you just want to talk to your friends and have fun, cool. But understand the expectation that that's going to have, right? You're not building something that you expect to go super big. And I said, look, James's podcast, he's growing an audience. That is a blue ocean. He's growing because he loves that particular niche. He loves to talk about that topic. It's his lifestyle. He's going to continue to grow that audience. The question we have there is, how do you monetize that? Right. And so, I explained to him the strategy that we're going with the E&O policies, which is super genius, by the way.
Did you hear me throw that in there at the beginning today?
Yeah, I did. Because that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what you're looking for, right? How do you monetize with this particular audience type? But if you switch over to the Business Bros, we don't do the show that way. Like I would love to grow an audience, continue to grow an audience that's huge, that people that want to listen to entrepreneur stuff, that want to learn from the lessons of the people who have been doing it. And that's super awesome. And if I'm focusing my attention on that, then that's what it'll go. But that's not really where we focused on. The Business Bros is about networking and meeting new people. And it's about creating long form content that we can repurpose for short content on other platforms. That is the end purpose. That is what we're using it for. So why do you want to start your podcast? Why would you want to do that? Because ultimately it has to serve a particular purpose. So if you're in business, this is one of the things we say all the time. If you're in business and you don't have social media presence, then you should start a podcast, because it's the easiest way to take content about you and what you do, break it up, and now you have content that's going out on a regular basis. You don't have to do a show as crazy as us every single day, but you're doing once a week. You take that and you hand that to your team. Your team then creates, 15 pieces of content from that one episode, and now you're posting every single day. Your clients know you exist. You're not invisible. You're visible. You're credible, and then you become profitable because you're showing up on a regular basis, right? That's the power of what that podcast can do. Is that podcast going to be number one on iTunes and, be invited to go on Joe Rogan's next show? Probably not, but that was not your intent. Your intent matters. So tell me how, dude, I want to know how how do you feel about the podcast? How do you feel about practicing polyamory? Like, I mean, you're booked out to August. September. Like, dude, your live views keep increasing, the number of people who come on the show. Your downloads keep increasing. Your audience keeps increasing. How's that feel?
I mean, it's surprising in a lot of ways. I don't expect it. I look up to you a lot, and so I see the things that you do, and really I expected Business Bros to blow up, and it's done really well for us and everything, but the audience that I've grown and the success that I've had with the Practicing Polyamory podcast, it has been like mind-blowing. It's like, oh, holy crap, that's happening, and it's happening fast. I'm excited about it because I mean between now and September, 5 months, 6 months, 5 months, and I'm booked the whole way, 3 days a week, and I'm gonna have guests. I'm not that worried about it, and it's just gonna keep growing and growing and growing. And I have this idea of starting with E&O for that listenership, and it's a very niche specific listenership. If I look at the analytics, it's women between ages 28 to 44, and just knowing the audience and knowing the guests that I've had, these are all professionals, people who are therapists and life coaches and other service practitioners, right? They provide a service to people, and so I know that they need professional liability, and so it just like that's my market right there, and it's built in. And I mean, I don't know. I'm excited about it. I know that it's going to grow faster than I realize, and I'm doing a little bit of extra work that you didn't do, which is I'm splitting up the audio and throwing a commercial into the mix, and so I get a penny every time somebody downloads. But I mean, that means I have like $20 in there. So it's like I could throw $20 at marketing and see if it comes back to me.
Testing it, right?
I'm playing with house money.
Playing with house money. And that's really what it comes out. And that's the thing, $20 in there, and you're just getting started. Like these are again, yeah. Okay. So you're doing things that I didn't do, but you're doing things because of what the experiences that we've done on the show. Like we would have never, I didn't know about Anchor when we first got started. I didn't even know that was an option for distribution. We didn't know anything about video, like there was a lot of stuff we didn't know.
When you set up the iTunes and all this stuff, and it was like, there was all of these different things that you had to do just to get the podcast distributed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pain. Yeah. And then we
learned a lot.
Yeah, and then you found Anchor, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, Easy. There you go.
Oh, there's the shortcut.
Yeah, but I mean, we're over 700 episodes now. We've learned a thing or two,
Mhm.
right? We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, wrong
Right?
plug.
But it's
Bum,
true.
bum, bum,
We've
bum.
we've done so much, and I
Don't you
mean,
consider failure experience?
we do.
We do.
Failure is experience. We've done it. We've lived it. We've messed up. We've made mistakes. We've learned. We've grown. And now I just happen to have this podcast that is, like you said, it's a blue ocean. It's an untapped niche, you know. And I mean, there are plenty of other polyamory podcasts out there, but I have not found one that interviews people the way that we do.
Mhm. We have fun with people.
We do.
That's another skill, by the way. Like speaking of things that this podcast has helped us with, like interviewing people in a fun way, like to ask questions,
Mhm.
to learn and be inquisitive and like
And not to be afraid of not
Asking.
knowing and asking and getting stuck in whatever it is that I want to say. Like there have been multiple times during the podcast. I mean, and we're broadcasting live, right? So it's like, oh shoot, well, I don't know where to go from here. Let me backtrack a little bit. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. And then we had this other question,
Mhm.
right? And it just takes the conversation another way. Even today, like we got to a point in the conversation where I was like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go from here. Well, let me just completely change the subject because I did a little bit of research and I read some stuff about you, and let me ask you about something that we haven't even touched on yet. And it's just,
It
you
is
know,
funny. Like this is a skill that you're going to take with you forever, right? I mean, this
Forever.
is something, now that the world is starting to open back up a little bit. And I went to a restaurant this weekend, by the way. I went to the Brigantine in La Jolla, and
Nice.
we sat inside. Table of like 8 people, and there was other tables, and people were inside having dinner. It was
8
cool.
people? Wow.
Yeah. So things are beginning to open up.
Mhm,
And so we're going to have this skill of conversating with people again, like
mhm.
where you can't say, all right, I got to go click or turn off your camera, right? Where you have to
Dude, I'm
actually
gonna-
hold the
you mean I'm
conversation
gonna
and keep going.
I'm gonna have a conversation longer than 30 minutes? No way.
Well, the cool
That's like
thing,
my limit.
you know what's funny that you say that? Before the pandemic happened, I started to creep out of my cave, right? I was like, I'm going to force myself to go out and like network and like be amongst
Oh my
people, right?
goodness.
I was forcing myself to do that.
And then the
I noticed
pandemic
that,
hit.
yeah, of course. And like, sit your ass back down. You're going to be staying at home. How dare you walk outside? But I remember sitting down and having conversations with people. And as I'm conversating, I'm talking to them, I realized that 15, 20, 30-minute marker, I mean, that's where it's also time to say, dude, it was great great getting to know you, and move on to the next person. So I got this internal clock in me
Nice.
that a repertoire of questions that I can ask that kind of keep the conversation going. I mean, even things as simple as, oh, tell me more about that. How did that make
Right.
you feel? Right? Like, I mean, these are basic little things and little nuances, but now I can plug them in between questions to keep that conversation going, to get more out of that conversation from the other
Right.
person. And dude, those are mad skills, dude. That's really good.
It's oh yeah, I totally get that. And something else that you touched on was da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, repeat that. And like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, dude, it's
And
so
then-
funny how that works.
And what's the best conversation? The conversation where I get to talk about me the whole time? That's the best conversation I've ever had, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
now
exactly.
when you go to networking events, if you creep out of your cave again, it'll be really easy to just ask those questions, get that information, and those people are going to remember you.
Yeah, well, the next step for me in our content evolution is to get that videographer to come with me and create some of this B-roll content, some of this exterior content where it's not just me sitting right here in the podcast studio, because this everyone sees, right? This is something that 700 episodes worth of content, people have seen this scene. quite a bit. It's not
Right.
intriguing anymore. So I gotta
Mhm.
mix things up. And so the thing that I've been working on myself is what are going to be my core pillars. Like I have pillars, right? Taxes, insurance, real estate, podcasting, marketing, sales, right? I have my pillars, but whatever pillar I put out, that is the pillar that I'm going to be known for. So be careful what you put out. Like, this morning I'm listening to Tony Robbins. By the way, I was hurting this morning because this last week I really didn't do much of anything as far as working out. I did my sporadic run, my sporadic push-ups, but last week I took the week pretty much off. So today I'm running and I'm hurting, but I'm listening to Tony and Tony just inspires me in the morning. He kind of gets me moving, right? And the whole like what is it that you want to be? Like, what are you trying to portray out there? What is it that you're focusing your attention on? And then do it, right? Every single one of the gurus is telling you the same thing in a different way. Decide on who you are and then go out there and do it. Stop listening to somebody else. Like, they're all saying the same thing. I just feel like they're saying it to me differently now at 39 I'll be 39 now at 39 than at 25. Like, it's a whole different ballgame, but still the same type of thing. Like, what is it that we're going to put out on a regular basis? So, by the way, Hams, just so you know, the goal is to have my video guy to come out for Rosa's 40th to start capturing some of these other things that we do, some of those family events that we do. It's gonna be a good time, dude. It's gonna be a good time. No complaints here.
Yeah. No, I know it is, and it's funny. I thought I had written a note somewhere, so I was over here looking for it. But I definitely know what you mean about the pillars. And you know what? Actually, let me raise this a little bit. Boom. There's some of my pillars right there. Motivation and mindset, funnels and marketing, CRMs, polyam and relationships, bird watching, hiking, nature. Those are
bird watching.
I
never pegged that for you, by the way. Like, I didn't know that was going to be the thing. I mean, we killed a lot of birds growing up, so we did. We were
bad kids. We were getting birds in a different way, shooting birds in a different way. Yeah. We were bad kids.
Don't follow us.
Right.
Don't do
we're gonna get all the hate. You know what? I was a kid, and now I'm different. No. It totally happened by accident. I found a pair of binoculars at Balboa Park, and literally the moment I did, I realized what they were. A bird
kicked in. Ooh, look, a bird.
A bird landed right next to me, and it was a yellow-rumped warbler, and I had never seen a bird as close as with the binoculars, and I got to see all of the details and the yellow feathers everywhere, and it was just the coolest thing. It just changed everything. For once, I didn't want to shoot it. I was just admiring it. Wow, that's a really pretty bird, right? And
pretty bird. Why do I only think of a Dumb and Dumber? pretty bird.
Oh. Too funny. Of course, you got to play that.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's right. Oh,
but yeah,
dude.
Birding and hiking. Hiking has definitely become a huge hobby for me, and anything in nature. I'll throw my Harley on there too. Maybe, I don't know. Might get rid of that pretty soon. Whatever. Anyway, but pillars, man. All those different things that aren't just this view, because you're right.
Yes.
700 episodes, people have seen this view. Now I'm at 30 some odd episodes. People have seen this view. So I need to start throwing more stuff in there that's not just this. But that leads me to that point that I brought up earlier of the different formats, right? So in my Instagram, the stuff that I post, it's all pictures of my guests. But in my stories, I'm posting other stuff. What do you think of that strategy?
I don't think that's a bad strategy. I think that's a good strategy. I just think you got to mix it up with how you post pictures of the guest. I think, if you had video clips of what they were saying, and maybe because your show has, you know, a lot of different things where they might not feel comfortable, you know, putting out certain messages or whatever. There's no reason why you can't use the audio with other video clips. So you show people at the beach or multiple couples or whatever it is, you know, like, so you have different stuff and you can still tag them in it so that they're aware that this is, you know, this is their clip and this is stuff, but you make it a little more beautiful, a little more different. It's a little, it's not so much just them. Now you're going to have people who are like, please put my stuff out there. So take some clips and put some content for them. And for me, when you're posting pictures and content of other people, it's a gift and a ploy to continue that relationship. That's how I see it. Right. So if I take a clip and it's from a guest, it's like, look, dude, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I so much. I thought this clip was important and I'm putting it on my Instagram. I'm going to tag you and share you with it. Share your opinion and all that stuff with you as well. So like, it's like, for me, it's like, that's an additional value add. It's a gift. It's something that you benefit from being on my show. That wasn't just that one time we meet and it's over.
So more than just the pictures and here's the episode. It's got to be engaging stuff.
Dude, that's the thing about social, right? It's got to be engaging. That's something I got to work on too. If I were you, I would pose questions. So, you know, like, you know, how do you define, I don't know. What was I forget some of the words that you guys use, but like
solo polyamory.
Right. So like that. And I would create a quote card like on Canva and I would ask that question and that would be a post. Why? Because everybody has a different answer to that type of question. And all it does is create engagement within your community. Right. Or I would also throw in like polyam memes if you wanted to, right? Like how do you make people laugh and make people conversate on your IG? And that's going to bring more of a family to you.
Nice. So there you go.
All right, ladies and gents.
At Business Bros Pod for more social media tips.
That's just saying. I'm learning as I go as well, dude. I learn from other professionals and then I implement and I test and I try and we just keep going from there, dude.
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
Thanks, Liam.
By the way, Russell Crowe is the new Liam Neeson in HBO's Unhinged.
I watched HBO. That, dude.
Did you watch it?
That. Yeah, I did. Right after you said that, I was like, I'm watching.
Checking that out.
Later that night, I watched it.
Was it basically the same thing?
He's crazy. Did you watch it?
No, not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that because you watched it. Technically, Russell Crowe's more of a bad guy, but
okay, cool.
But yeah, dude, it's still trippy. Trippy.
I'll check it out at some point.
It's a creepy movie when you watch it, but it is what it is.
Russell Crowe will also be in Thor, Love and Thunder. So just throwing that
out. What? You will? Too. Like big old fat Russell Crowe?
Like Russell Crowe, whatever he is now. Or,
dude, Russell Crowe put on some pounds, dude. And I don't know if he did it for just this role because there's a lot of.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
No, he is not the gladiator.
Not that
days,
guy
dude.
anymore.
Not that guy. You know the guy that he went to fight for. He looks more like that guy now.
Oh, damn.
He's still an amazing actor, though. Still a good actor. Like, convincing as all hell. When, you know, he looks psychotic in that movie, he plays a good role. So he's still an amazing actor. But I wonder if he put on the pounds, like, for this role. Like, just, you know, this was the role that he's doing, and then, like, he's going to take it off again. Because there's a lot of actors that do that. They just, I mean, look at the Joaquin Phoenix in Joker. Like, he got super thin for that role.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Who knows? But if he's gonna be Thor, like
he's gonna be in Thor.
In Thor, and I don't know. He's an older guy now, so I mean, he doesn't even look like Jor-El anymore either. From Superman.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see. All
right. Anyways, we digress.
Movie talk.
This is what we end up talking about when we turn off the show. But I forgot to actually hit the end and turn off the show. So
yeah.
All right. We'll piece you guys out later. We'll catch you on 702 when we're talking to our next guest. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@csfirst.com. to schedule a free consultation or join the Business Bros Network. www.businessbros.biz.